You are here today because you were meant to hear something that did not arrive by mere coincidence. There are profound moments in life when the heart slows its rhythm and quietly becomes filled with hesitation, even though deep inside you, in that serene space where your authentic truth resides, you have already perceived the real answer. This is precisely one of those defining moments. What you are about to encounter is not merely ordinary information or empty words. It is a direct and potent energetic response to what you have been softly whispering to the universe for many days, perhaps even weeks, in the silent, hidden corners of your thoughts. Today, you will arrive at the exact intersection where your deepest internal feeling finally meets the reality you have been anticipating for such a long time. I know you have sensed a unique link that defies normal logic and simple explanation. If you want the complete truth regarding this person's genuine feelings for you, hit the like button right now. You have felt a powerful magnetic pull and a deep bond with a specific person that is difficult to describe with standard language. Sometimes, during your most vulnerable moments, you convinced yourself that all of this was just a fleeting illusion, a desperate wish from your heart, or a daydream created to escape the feeling of being alone. But today, I want to share one crucial thing with you with absolute certainty and zero doubt. This love you have experienced, this electric sensation moving through your body when you think of them, and this strange, unshakable feeling of knowing them forever, is not a product of your imagination, it is not a coincidence, and it is certainly not a fantasy you are crafting for yourself. There are clear, profound, and consistent signs that have surfaced in your life, all pointing toward a truth you may not have dared to fully embrace because of the fear of being hurt. And today you will finally understand why this person truly loves you, even if their present actions might seem to tell a different story. Your uncertainties will begin to fade once you confront the undeniable evidence within your own soul. It does not matter if you have recently felt an unusual weight in your chest, or if this person has become quieter, colder, or more distant. I want you to understand that this silence is actually a significant component of the overall message. Even if it feels painful and confusing right now, when the universe confirms a connection between two souls, it does so in a way your inner being senses long before your mind can comprehend it. That is precisely why you are still here. You needed a confirmation that does not come from hollow human words, but from something vibrating at the same frequency as your own spirit. Often we struggle to explain emotions that were never meant to be solved by the intellect, but only to be experienced on a higher level of awareness. What you are feeling right now is not madness, not anxiety, and not an unhealthy attachment as you sometimes worry. What you are navigating is the specific process required for someone destined to experience a love that rises above the ordinary. It is a love that transcends the limitations of typical, surface-level relationships. You are currently witnessing the inception of a deep recognition between two souls who chose each other beyond the physical realm long ago, well before you became conscious of this life. There is something the universe wants you to hold in your heart today. Your doubts are not fueled by a lack of love from this person. They stem from your own old wounds that were never fully healed. When someone carrying the energy of true love enters your life with a presence that shakes your equilibrium and with eyes that seem to perceive your soul without even touching your body, dormant pain awakens within you. Your internal defenses react automatically to what feels unfamiliar and new. The soul recognizes the other instantly, and it feels like encountering a mirror, someone essential for your personal growth. Yet the mind, conditioned to avoid discomfort and protect itself, begins to construct walls of doubt and denial. That is why you have so often stayed awake at night, asking yourself if this love is real, if the other person feels the same way, or if you are losing your grip on reality by believing in something you cannot entirely see. Comment 111 if you have been feeling a deep soul connection with someone lately, and yet the same pattern continues to repeat itself. Whenever you attempt to withdraw, when you decide to shut your heart, block the feeling, and move on, something invisible, gentle, yet incredibly strong pulls you back. This force that keeps you from letting go is not weak pride, not emotional dependency, and not stubborn hope. It is the shared vibration of two souls that the universe has quietly aligned without asking for permission, without following logic, and without needing words. You have frequently asked for a clear sign, gazed at the sky, or closed your eyes hoping for a revelation. And even though many signs have appeared, they often seem too subtle to trust completely. But today, you will begin to realize that every minor detail carries immense weight. That gaze that turned away only when it became too revealing, that message that seemed casual but carried a hidden depth, and the way your energy shifts when this person is nearby, or even when you simply think about them. True love, born from a spiritual connection, does not always reveal itself first through grand declarations or dramatic gestures. Often, especially in the early stages, it communicates through profound, meaningful silence, a silence that speaks louder than saying "I love you." It manifests in awkward actions that appear small, but hide a powerful internal devotion that has not yet found its voice. Type yes if you want me to reveal the undeniable signs that this love is real. Today, life wants you to understand that this person is not unsure about their feelings for you. The one who has been hesitant is you, not because you are weak, but because this love entered your life at a time when you were still learning to stand steady, and its sheer intensity overwhelmed you. When someone carrying the energy of true love steps into your world, they do not shake your foundation to harm you, but to awaken you, to heal you, to turn you inward, and to make you challenge your old limitations regarding love and connection. This internal transformation can feel like pure fear, but you must understand that this fear is not born from a lack of love, but from the immense power of what is entering your life. This person looks at you, even from a distance, with a kindness they cannot entirely conceal, with a respect that feels natural, and with a softness that exists only when the heart has already made its choice in silence. I realize that at some point, perhaps even recently, you felt this person was pulling away for good, that their silence meant they no longer cared, and their distance was evidence that the feeling was fading. However, the universe did not lead you to this moment just to provide another incomplete story or another wound. When a connection is guided by a higher force, it does not shatter due to human confusion or temporary silence. What is meant to be endures, even during mental storms, even when messages go unanswered, and even when you begin to question everything as a human being. So, why do you experience so much chaos if this is truly real? Because real love does not arrive to keep you the same. It comes to transform you, to strip away illusions, and to teach you patience, trust, and faith in things that cannot yet be seen. This chaos is a symptom of growth, a signal that something old within you is breaking down so that something true can rise. And one day, when the silence concludes and the distance dissolves, you will look back and understand that every moment of uncertainty was preparing you for the depth of love you were always intended to receive. The answer does not exist outside of you, but within the quiet struggle currently taking place between your logic and your deepest self. If you are prepared to accept this understanding, then listen with an open heart. The reason you feel so confused, even while your soul seems to already recognize the truth, leads to the oldest internal conflict of all, the endless tension between the limited reasoning of the ego and the vast wisdom of your true self. This confusion and this inner turmoil that sometimes makes you feel like you are inventing everything comes from your mind encountering something it cannot fully control or explain. And yet, despite all the hesitation and despite all the questions, something within you continues to recognize, continues to feel, and continues to return to the same truth over and over again. It is something that does not fit into the outdated ideas about love you have carried for so long. Your ego is the part of you shaped by fear, past pain, and the need for self-protection. It follows one simple rule to keep you safe from perceived danger. When this connection entered your life, your ego perceived it as an immediate threat. Why? Because real love, the kind that originates from the soul, demands that you open yourself completely, that you remain emotionally exposed, and that you surrender without hiding behind expectations. And your ego, still marked by old scars, screams at you to be careful, because this feels too good, and it will eventually end in pain, so you should run now or protect yourself first. From this moment forward, you must learn to distinguish between these different voices. You must learn to silence the noise of the ego that tells you to fear, and instead listen to the whisper of your soul that tells you to trust. The chaos you feel is the sound of your ego losing its grip, and the silence you feel from the other person is often their own ego struggling with the exact same transformation. When you finally release the need to control the outcome or to force an explanation for every single action, you will find a sense of peace that you have never known before. There is a sharp contrast between the loud, anxious noise of the ego and the soft, steady whisper of your intuition. The doubts that come from the ego always feel urgent, empty, and heavy with fear. They usually show up as a tightness in your stomach, or an almost uncontrollable need to check your phone repeatedly, searching for some kind of proof so that you can feel secure for a few moments. The ego might tell you that if they do not call or text right now, it means they do not care. It suggests that if they do not say exactly what you want to hear, they must be pulling away from you. This way of thinking carries a heavy, exhausting energy that slowly drains your spirit over time. The voice of your intuition and the deep wisdom of your soul, however, are the exact opposite. Intuition feels like a deep, grounding calm, a quiet sense of knowing that remains steady even when waves of doubt start to crash around you. Even when your mind tries to convince you that this person has left your life for good, there is a peaceful truth inside your chest whispering that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You need to trust this process, because that calm beneath the storm is the clearest proof that what you feel is real and perfectly aligned with your highest path. When you experience this inner peace, you will realize that you are not just fooling yourself, you are actually touching something profound and true. This internal conflict between your mind and your heart is the very thing that has made you question the reality of your connection. Take a look at your emotional past, because if you were ever betrayed or abandoned before, your ego will automatically project that old pain onto your current situation. It tends to believe that even this person, no matter how pure the bond feels, will eventually hurt you in the exact same way. In reality, you are not truly doubting their love for you. You are simply doubting your own ability to hold on to a love this deep without breaking under the weight of it. That is exactly the lesson you are learning right now. The universe has placed you in front of this person and created this powerful pull between you so that you can finally face your deepest fears. What you are feeling is not just here to give you love. It has come to push you far beyond your comfort zone, to shake the limits you have set for yourself, and to force you to question everything you once believed about love and your own worth. This love is here to lift you to a higher state of awareness, where you no longer feel the need to beg for small pieces of affection. Instead, you are learning to accept the fullness and depth that your soul truly deserves. Each time your ego tries to sabotage the bond, it actually gives you a golden opportunity to heal an old hidden wound. When fear and doubt start to rise, it does not mean that the love is fading away. Instead, it means that an old pain is resurfacing so that it can finally be acknowledged and released. If you panic, you only feed that fear. But if you can stay calm and recognize it for what it is, you effectively take away its power. Your connection acts like a strong, purifying light, clearing your energy and preparing you to receive even more. And remember, no matter how hard you try to walk away and no matter how many times you force yourself to let go, something inside you always pulls you back. This force is not a chain binding you down. It is the shared vibration of two souls that were always meant to meet in this lifetime. It is so incredibly powerful that even when you try to block it with logic or fight it with your ego, it remains like an invisible magnet constantly reminding you of home. But the main question still lingers in your mind. If your souls know the truth so clearly, and if the bond between you is so strong, why does the other person seem so quiet or distant? The answer lies in the intense energy that is created whenever two powerful souls meet. You have to understand that this person is not just a romantic partner, they are your strongest mirror. Their arrival into your life awakened everything within you that still needed healing. Just as you were shaken by this encounter, they were shaken as well. This bond is so deep and so pure that it touches the most sensitive parts of their own unhealed wounds. For a human mind that constantly seeks control, this level of intensity can feel very frightening. Therefore, the distance you see is not a sign of rejection, but rather a form of self-protection from the overwhelming emotions that your presence awakens in their heart. In this dynamic, people often talk about the runner and the chaser. The runner, who is usually the person you love, is not actually running away from you. They are running away from themselves and from the overwhelming depth of the love they feel. They pull away because what they feel is so intense that it floods them with fear, specifically the fear of not being enough, the fear of damaging something so precious, and the fear of losing their sense of control or identity. It is the fear of complete surrender, which is often shaped by old wounds from times they were left or rejected. These are wounds that once made a silent, internal promise to never again fall into a love that had the power to break them. That is why the silence you experience is not a sign that they do not care, but simply a necessary pause. They are in a desperate need to organize the internal storm that your presence has stirred up. Your role in this, which you often take on as the chaser, is sometimes played out purely in energy. When you feel that distance growing, your ego starts to panic, and you feel an urgent need to reach out, to explain, to fix things, and to prove your worth. But this cycle of running and chasing only makes the distance feel even larger, like an invisible force pulling you further apart. The more you chase, the more the other person feels the internal pressure to keep running. Here, one of the strongest spiritual laws comes into play, and it is also one of the most difficult to master. The law of letting go in order to draw closer. The universe does not want you to suffer while you wait, but it does want you to use this time to return to yourself and to focus on your own healing. The runner can only return when they truly feel that you do not need them to be whole. This is a very clear, energetic truth, because as long as you are actively chasing their presence, they will continue to feel the need to run. When you finally choose yourself, and when you stand firmly in your own light, the balance of the relationship can finally shift. When you stop the chase, turn back toward your own light, and begin to shine brightly for your own sake, the runner will immediately feel the change in the energy between you. The pressure disappears, the space feels safe again, and slowly an inner pull begins to guide them back to you. This pause between you is not a punishment. It is the greatest alignment the universe can offer. You are apart for a little while so that each of you can heal in your own individual way. The source itself is working to clear your fear, close those old wounds, and bring order to what currently feels like chaos. It does this so that your eventual reunion will not be built on a foundation of need, attachment, or fear, but rather on strength, fullness, and the conscious choice of two whole souls who choose each other freely. When you focus your energy on your personal growth and your inner calm, you effectively cut the cord of fear that once tied you to the cycle of insecurity. Share this video with others so that they can also receive this important confirmation from the universe. By doing so, you send a clear message to the universe that you trust your path, you trust in your own worth, and you know that what is meant for you will find its way back to you. Not through your desperate chasing, but through the beauty of natural alignment. This is the only way to break the cycle of running and chasing. The one you love will not return because you push them. They will be drawn back by your peace, your strength, and your renewed, vibrant energy. You must understand that this distance has absolutely no power to destroy what destiny intends to unite. In truth, the space you are taking right now acts like a flame on metal. It might feel intense and burning, but it serves only to remove what is false. So what remains at the end will be strong and truly unbreakable. The bond of mirror souls is nourished by truth, and the absolute truth is that no matter how far they seem to go in the physical world, they simply cannot escape the echo of your soul. This period of distance becomes an act of deep trust in yourself, in the process, and in the love that the universe has specifically shaped for you. Keep focusing on your own healing, because as you do that, the other person is doing the exact same thing in their own way. Both of you are being prepared, refined, and gently cleared for a meeting that will be built to last. When that moment finally arrives, your connection will feel so grounded and stable that nothing will be able to shake it, because it will be built on mutual respect and complete inner wholeness. If you still feel this person in your energy, even without phone calls or text messages, it is because they continue to love you in their own silence, and they think of you far more often than you realize. The small signs you notice each day, and the unusual coincidences you encounter, are the ways the universe shows you that your intuition is real. Now, it is time to talk about these quiet confirmations and the synchronicities that reveal their love is just as real as the breath in your lungs. The human mind will always seek logical proof, which is why it constantly searches for clear signs even when the soul already understands the truth, but the universe never leaves you without answers.